Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of the Nerdbyte. Today we're going to talk about how to use New Relic Mobile crash analysis to troubleshoot a crash in our app. So after we have New Relic Mobile Agent installed, we should start seeing the crash information started reporting. And by default, we can see the crashes happening across different versions of our app here. If we want to dig into what the details of the crash, we can click on the top of the link here, or we can go to the left-hand side crash analysis tab directly. And then let's say we have a new version of the mobile app release and we want to understand what crashes has been happening in the app because crash is hugely affecting users' experience. We want to get them fixed. And then we can see by default, we are grouping the crash by crash locations. If we want, we can also group the crash by some other attribute has been reported to New Relic, like last interaction, device attribute as well. On the right-hand side, we can see the crash rate and crash-free users to understand the impact of the crash in this version. If we scroll down, we can click one of the crash locations and it'll take us to the crash details page. And this is where we start dig into the crash and get it resolved. We got the location, exception, and crash message on top here. If we scroll down, we can see the crash occurrence again, and then also a breakdown of the crash tabs by device or OS version or device mode. This can be really useful because if we see any of the, if we see this crash is only happening, say, one device, and it's probably some issue related to the device. As we scroll down, we are going to see the stack trace. This is probably the most important information for engineer to troubleshooting the issue. We highlight where the crash happened. Also, the full stack trace can be found here. If you prefer, you can download the stack trace to a local file so that you can check the stack trace locally. On the right-hand side, we got the crash attribute, including the app build, app locations, and some custom attribute if we recorded any, and also device-related attribute like device model, name, and etc. This information could really helpful for engineers to reproduce the issue but what's really going to help is the event trail. We can find this besides the stack trace. In New Relic, besides the crash information we collect, we will also collect interactions as well as HTTP requests has been made from the app. What event trail tells us is that any activities that has happened before the event trail before the crash, it'll be listed in the event trail. For this case, we can see the app has got launched and a few narrow to different screens of the app, and then there are a couple HTTP requests has been made, and then more navigation in the app, and then some extra some HTTP requests happen again. If we want to get more details of the interaction, we can click into it to see the duration didn't complete because crash happened in this interaction. And also click down the HTTP request to get the details of the HTTP request. If there's any extra additional information you want to be added to the event trail before the crash, you can record breadcrumbs. We do provide mobile SDK API that you can call this API to record some additional information to mobile breadcrumbs so that can be visible in the event trail. Hopefully, this information is helpful for you to troubleshoot the crash. Thanks.